Welcome to the SpeedStudio podcast, where art accelerates business, design drives performance, and we explore the culture of speed with athletes, business leaders, and creatives who define it. Welcome to the SpeedStudio podcast, episode 119.
Here we are, 9 days till Christmas, a couple of days into Hanukkah.
Doing what we said we weren't going to do, which was record podcasts at the last minute. Every single, let me just walk you through the emotional life cycle of the podcast each week. Of a
weekly podcast.
So it goes
years into a weekly podcast.
We record the podcast on Tuesday, sometimes Monday if we're good, mostly Tuesday, and then we edit it on Tuesday and get it out. And then after editing it, Chad declares that we're never going to record on Tuesday ever again because we should be recording over the weekend. And then the weekend comes and we have to actually work on the weekend as well. And so then Monday rolls around and we're slammed with meetings, and then we're here again on Tuesday doing the exact same thing. So I'm just wondering, because I've given up on complaining about it.
It's called Groundhog Day.
I'm just wondering when you're going to give up on complaining about it.
Just remember how mad Bill Murray would get every morning when he woke up?
You are Bill Murray.
I don't know about that. But I think OG listeners probably remember the days when we recorded on the weekends. And then we decided that was too much to have that obligation of recording on the weekend. That's why it got shifted. Remember, we used to come out. Did we come out on Mondays?
Mondays, yeah.
Monday mornings. Okay, yeah. So this gave us a little bit more of a buffer.
Yeah.
But it's stressful.
I don't really. I'll edit today's podcast, so you don't have to stress at all.
Okay.
And I won't find it that stressful.
Well, it depends on the day. Like last Tuesday was stressful because we had a lot of work, so that's the problem.
I mean, we still have a lot of work today, but I just feel like it is what it is at this point.
Yeah. We're deep into holiday season. Last Christmas is already number 1 on the charts
by Wham.
Yeah, we talk about this every year.
Yeah. Well, I'm just letting the listeners know that might not have listened last year.
One of our first ever episodes was about Wham. The Wham documentary.
Chad's white whale is
Andrew.
Andrew. What's his last name?
Grigsby.
I
believe.
So if that's your white whale, you don't even know his name?
Andrew from Wham. Okay. So any of our listeners out there, they have a connection. I've tried everything. I've reached out to him on Instagram. He's a cyclist, so I've tried to go that route. Reached out to him through SpeedStudio.
Wait,
Instagram.
how did you try to go the cycling route? Like on Strava?
Well, no, I'm just saying, reached out to him through SpeedStudio Instagram.
Yeah.
I have emailed his PR people, which strangely do not respond. Although his PR people are for a book that he wrote many years ago, so I don't know if they're they're probably not actively engaged, and they're not getting money. So So if anyone's got a connection, hit us up.
I would say 99% of the time reaching out through Instagram does nothing.
Because it goes into the black hole of request.
Yeah.
The request box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Even when people send messages to SpeedStudio, it goes into that and doesn't get looked at for weeks. Yeah,
it's hard to get in touch with people nowadays, which is ironic considering we're so in touch with everyone on a surface level.
I would love to go back to the days where you just called people.
Yeah.
I wanted to call a bunch of people this morning. I'm just because there's so many things I'm waiting on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's almost weird to call people just randomly from a work perspective now. Then it used to be that was just every day. My phone was ringing every day. I'd answer the phone, cell phone, office phone, and you don't know who's on the other line, and you're just like, yeah.
Well, I think part of that is that the time that you were referring to is when you were working in corporate, so you were calling people that you worked with. Now you're calling clients, and I just think it's a little bit different because there's an element of if someone sees you calling, they know you're either asking for something, looking for something, or trying to get something done. Whereas internally, people don't necessarily see people calling and think they're going to ask me to do something.
I hear you on that. It really was though more of how people got work done.
Mm-hmm.
And I was receiving calls, obviously people within the organization, but I was getting calls from, I was lawyers, random lawyers and EEOC and Department of Labor. But
that was part of your job.
Yeah. But I don't think that happens anymore. I don't even think the people in those positions pick up the phone and call each other anymore.
Yeah.
Because you could move the process along so much quicker in those days. And now it's an email, let's schedule a call. Get on a Zoom.
Schedule a call.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's slowed everything down, but luckily AI is here to take everyone's job and speed everything up again, so we'll be good with that.
That's positive look on it.
Speaking of Andrew, do you want to talk about your new favorite crooner?
Yes, Paul Anka.
It's not even on your list. I got you with that one.
No, it is right here.
Oh, okay. The Paul Anka documentary on Netflix. Wait, is it on Netflix?
I think it's on HBO.
I think it's on HBO. Yeah, it's on HBO.
Just Google it.
So you didn't even know who Paul Anka was before.
No, I didn't know.
I was like, I think you'll like this. Let's watch this.
I love it. It's so good. I mean, it's just an incredible story of someone who has contributed to music culture more than the majority of people in the world would ever know, unless you watch he was writing music for Frank Sinatra.
He wrote My Way.
My Way was not written. I think a lot of people think Frank Sinatra wrote My Way just because he obviously is the main person who sings it most of the time. And it wasn't. It was Paul Anka who wrote it. He actually heard the melody in France. In France. And he reached out to the people,
called them.
He
picked up the phone and called them.
He called the, let's just say, record label. I don't know. It probably wasn't a record label, but the people who made the song and said, can I purchase the rights to own this music, this melody? And they said, sure, you can basically have it for free. Because at that time, it was, didn't think anything of it. And he turned that into My Way and then pitched it.
He had the melody, and then Frank told him that he wanted to retire.
Frank said he wanted to retire. So then he wrote the song for Frank Sinatra because his whole professional life, he said, one day I'm going to write something for Frank.
Yeah.
And so anyways, that's how My Way came to be. And then obviously he's licensed it to basically every famous artist that ever wants to sing that song.
Yeah, it's funny because I always thought of Paul Anka as like the 1950s teenage, because those were like his
heartthrob.
Hits. Yeah, his hits were then, but I didn't realize he'd become this like proficient? Well-known?
Prolific.
That's all I meant. Writer.
Yeah. Well, they talk about that. Like last night in the episode, they talk about how he was the teenage heartthrob, but then the Beatles and all these boy bands came along and they essentially made
his type of music go away.
Yeah, and they made his type of music obsolete. And so that was when he was trying to figure out who he was. I mean, he was friends with the Beatles. He was friends with all these boy band groups, but he never quite fit in with their vibe. So then he realized that he could actually write music and produce music at an extremely high level. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what he did for the rest of his career. But the interesting, I'm curious to see what you think about it. He would sing a lot of the songs with the people that he wrote them for. Do you think part of the deal was like, okay, Frank, I'm going to write you this song, but you've got to let me come on stage and sing the song with you?
Like the song he sang with Tom Jones.
Yeah. Like you kind of got the vibe like it was his way to keep himself relevant.
Maybe. I mean, if he writes a song, he owns it. So maybe that could definitely be part of the deal.
I didn't realize how...
I'm sure he's getting a little check for that, so...
I also didn't realize how short he was until he stands next to all these other famous singers.
And Tom Jones like dwarfed him.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
He's 84 years old and he's still on tour and he's still sharp
singing.
as a tack, which is that's the inspiring part, to think that someone that lived in that era and has gone through all these different generational eras of entertainment is still with us and he's still like super smart. It's like inspiring. Yeah,
very inspiring. Well, I mean, I think of the same thing. We watched Life of a Show or The Last Showgirl, and with Pamela Anderson.
She's not that old.
No. But what I'm saying is like I felt like I really recommend watching The Last Showgirl. The end is a little bit of a letdown because you kind of want more.
Get your Prozac ready.
You want more from it, but it's really, I think it's really good. But my point is that she has come out of retirement to start. Basically, people told her that she couldn't act, she couldn't sing, she was just a pretty face, and that's the only reason she got cast into like say Baywatch or something.
Yeah.
And then through most of her life, she was kind of like, I don't want to say like discriminated against, but definitely she was typecast and she was left out of things that she wanted to do, that she believed in herself. And so at the age of however 60 whatever, she's coming back to prove to people that she can act and she can do exactly what she wants to do. I think that's inspiring as well.
Is she coming back or is it just for that movie?
She's been coming back. I mean, she had the documentary, remember, about herself?
Oh, yeah.
And then she's had this. So I think it's a comeback.
She's 58, by the way.
Oh.
She's 8 years older than me.
We'll cut that out. Really? She's 58?
She's 58.
I mean, she looks good.
I knew she wasn't that old. So, yeah, I just felt like she was playing herself in the last Showgirl. I don't know. I don't know what she actually acts like.
I think that's like the whole point, though.
Yeah.
Is she is playing herself in a way. I mean, to me, it was just a metaphor for her life.
Yeah.
In which she's playing through this, like, it's a very literal metaphor.
Yeah.
She's a showgirl on a hat.
In Vegas.
In Vegas on an old show that's been around forever. And she's the oldest showgirl in the show. And everyone knows who she is. And she's living in past times. She's still kind of like living off the fame of what she once knew. And then they eventually shut down the show. And she realizes that she's not special anymore.
Well, hopefully we might need to put a spoiler alert at the beginning of this.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty predictable.
Yeah, I guess it is. It is good, but it's kind of sad. So we weren't planning on talking about any of that. So in other relevant news, Lindsey Vonn came out of retirement too.
We're talking about everyone coming out of retirement or have never gone into retirement.
Did you even know that she had done that?
Well, I knew that she was out of retirement. I knew she was retired because she had a terrible injury.
Yeah.
But I did not know that she was coming out of retirement. But like with her, I kind of never really think of her as actually retired because she always comes out. She's that athlete that like goes out of retirement, comes in retirement, goes out.
But she hasn't competed in like 7 years.
I know. Well, I think she's
like Phillip Rivers. He came out of retirement too.
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
But they lost. All these Gen Xers. Well, but they barely lost.
Yeah.
And she won. Yeah, and not the football World Cup that is coming to Atlanta this summer.
The downhill skiing World Cup.
We need to look into the dates for the World Cup and think about what we're doing here. We've been hearing about the World Cup for 5 years.
Yeah.
About how big of a deal this is.
Doesn't really seem like anything's changing. I know downtown is like they literally are slapping up new hotels left and right.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a big deal. They did the draw, so we know who's going to play. I think Portugal's in our group here in Atlanta.
How much are tickets?
I'm sure a lot. Because
does anyone want to rent our house? Just to
any corporation want to rent our house for a week? No parties. Actually, you can rent the studio. Well, it's because events are the new luxury.
Yeah.
What we were talking about earlier is how many people that we know are giving events and experiences as gifts, right?
Yeah.
And you told me I didn't even think about this, but like you can register someone for like an event for like a race.
Yeah.
It's funny. I asked you, I was like, can you register someone? Then I realized I've registered you for so many races.
Yeah.
Like when it's just me and you go in a race.
You don't even ask me.
Yeah. There you go. So there's a lot, I think, of people doing that.
Yeah. I think this year is going to, I'm interested to see like, because we know that consumer confidence is down, especially for buying houses, buying cars, buying things, just because people are not confident in the economy. But I think that being said, people justify not buying things by buying experiences because they're like, well, if the economy sucks next year, at least I won't just be sitting around with this handbag that doesn't matter, but I'm going to go to Japan and it's going to be an amazing time.
Yep.
Or I'm going to go to this race in Berlin and it's going to be so fun with all my friends. And so I think that we're going to see a big shift in the way people purchase gifts this year for the holidays. I think we're going to see like a lot more, get a good example, like gift cards to get facials or your hair done. Like that's like a micro level, and then again, like trips, like unique experiences, concerts, all of that.
I think the trips thing, I mean, it's been happening for a few years, but I feel like I now know so many people that are doing trips as gifts.
Yeah.
Because it's more memorable. I think it's what came out of COVID.
And I just think there's less guilt.
Yeah.
With like, I feel guilty. Like if you're like, oh, I want this like X amount of money pair of shoes and it's really expensive. Like I feel guilty buying you a really expensive pair of shoes, but I don't feel guilty buying you a really expensive trip somewhere.
Huh.
And I think it's because to me, the trip seems like something we can share.
Yeah.
And like, I don't even want you to, like, I don't ask you to buy me like jewelry or purses or anything like that. Like you have, but I don't ever ask of that of you.
Yep.
Because I don't know, it feels like those gifts like don't matter as much anymore. Like it sounds weird. And I know there's people out there that are obsessed with their,
yeah, like, there's a lot of people going, what are you talking about, girl?
No, I know. And there's a lot of people that are obsessed with their like gifting lists where they're like, oh, I want my whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person that feels this way, but it feels like there's a shift. I've also landed on a side of social media where people are really focused on like crafting gifts this year, but not just like craft. They're calling it like non-crafty craft gifts. So things you can make yourself, but they don't seem crafty. Like you're not like, you know, putting a snowflake together and like get it like out of paper, like not that type of craft, but people are making really nice things. Like I'm actually shocked at just the different ideas that I've seen on TikTok for making gifts for people.
Yeah. For our listeners, within the last month, we have acquired a embroidery machine, and Nikki is knitting.
Yeah. I mean, I think the embroidery well, you agreed that you wanted the embroidery machine too.
Yeah. This is a full service studio right here. We can make everything.
We can literally
make everything. And you wanted a 3D printer. Not sure what we're going to do with that.
I wanted a 3D printer, but we don't have room for it.
We got plenty of room for it. We have enough new things to hone in on first.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean,
where did the knitting come from?
Well, so last year, my favorite scarf got stolen at a restaurant, Lingering Shade. One of the servers literally stole the scarf off the back of my chair.
Yep. There's a whole episode about that.
So boycott Lingering Shade. And I still walk by and stare in, hoping to see that little Sinead O'Connor looking a-hole. And I don't think she works there anymore. But
no,
we're still boycotting it. And so
because the manager didn't help.
Yeah, he was a huge asshole.
Yeah.
So I decided that, so like this scarf that I loved, R.I.P. scarf, you know, was not a cheap scarf, as we all heard in the other episode. And it kept going on sale. And I just, out of principle, I cannot buy the scarf. It makes me so angry because I've already bought it once. I can't do it again.
I get that.
And so I was like, you know what? F this. I'm going to knit myself a scarf.
I'm going to make myself.
Out of spite for the universe, I'm making myself a scarf.
Well, you're starting by making Camille a scarf.
Yes, I'm starting by making a little scarf for Camille.
Yeah.
Or Emmy. But I think right now it's probably more Camille's side.
But how are you influenced into knitting? Like, where did that come from?
TikTok.
Oh, okay.
I follow this girl who's like a crafter, and she was just coming up with different ideas. And like one of the ideas was to knit just this like triangle scarf. And I was like, oh, I could do that for myself. And knitting, it's not an expensive thing. Like it's actually pretty cheap. I mean, I guess anything can be expensive. You could get like
I'm sure you can get gold.
Yeah, you can get like gold wool from like the Andes Mountains, special goats that are fed sushi or something. But
yeah.
No, I didn't buy expensive knitting stuff because I'm still learning. But
stay tuned.
The embroidery stuff came out of, I actually don't know how I thought of the embroidery thing. I think it's because we ordered sweatshirts for SpeedStudio, and the people that we ordered them from in Charlotte messed up the embroidery so bad. I was like, this is infuriating.
Yeah.
I want to be able to like embroider things myself. And so that's my problem in life is I just wish I could do literally everything myself. Like I don't want to have to rely on anyone.
Same.
And so that leads to a lot of hobbies.
A lot of hobbies.
But also my ADHD leads to a lot of hobbies, which I was doing research around. And apparently it's because I have such bad ADHD that, and I'm not on medicine, that I become hyperfixed. So I have low dopamine in my brain. And so when I become hyperfixed on a skill, it gives me a lot of dopamine release.
Huh.
And the reason I don't ever fully like abandon a skill. I kind of always have these skills like going on in the background. But then it's easy for that dopamine to wear off. And so then you look for your next skill.
Is it because the initial jump in learning the skill, it's
exciting.
It's like cycling, like like when you first start riding, it's super exciting.
Everyone gets that.
You get so fast, you know, and I think probably, well, maybe not as running, but cycling, you learn it and you get, the jumps are really quick.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it plateaus, and and then all of a sudden it's like 1 percentage points. So the same thing with the hobbies.
Similar. I mean, I think with cycling, there's a few nuances there because I think a lot of that is you get burnt out on just getting your teeth kicked in, which we've also talked about on this podcast. Because
but not everyone lives in that world, though.
Yeah. But it definitely, I mean, with everything new thing you learn, there's a learning curve, and depending on how steep the learning curve is, and how good you are at learning things, can release a lot of happiness and dopamine. And so people that have this really low level of dopamine, like I believe that I do, it's kind of like, to me, it's like an essential way of existing in life. Like if I'm not learning something, I can't exist.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly looking for things. And it can be simple as like a recipe, like teaching myself a new recipe or something and trying to perfect that. But that is, for those wondering why I always have something random, different going on, I don't know how else to exist without medicine.
So when you...
and I'm trying really hard not to take medicine.
Not doing the medicine. So when you look at me, like on Saturday, I decided to go do Tucker, a ride that I've done for almost 26 years. It was every Saturday. Are you like, I just don't know how he does that?
Yeah, I mean, you and my friend Shelly, she's very similar to you. It's interesting. Like there's a part of me that's like really envious of people that can stay focused on something for a really long time, like months, years, decades. Like I'm so envious of that, because it is really, other than piano, which I mean, it's my 10th year riding a bike. So I stuck with riding a bike for a really long time.
Yeah.
It's just been recently that I've switched to running, mainly just for more social outlet.
And safer.
But yeah, I am jealous of that. Like when you can wake up and do the same thing that you've done for 25 years and it doesn't, like, and you're not bored of it. I'm very jealous of that.
Let's not get crazy. I'm not saying I'm not bored of it.
But it doesn't.
First thing I did when I got home was I texted Al and said, "Oh man, Tucker still sucks."
But there's something in your brain where, like, even if you don't really feel like doing it, you still can get motivated to do it.
Yeah, there's the motivation, and then like I told you, like there's a social aspect of it too, like riding back from the ride with guys that I don't get to talk to a lot. So there's that part of it. It actually was a perfect day.
Yeah, it was.
Saturday was amazing before this frigid Arctic.
I think you also love, like, you struggle to work out if you're not with people.
Yeah.
Whereas like me, it depends on the day. Like this weekend, I ran Saturday completely I get in these like weird modes where like I can't be around people and I have to just be alone. And then I'm in these like other modes where it's like I can't be alone. I have to be around tons of people. And it's very unpredictable of like how I'm going to feel when I wake up.
Well, it depends on what I'm doing. If riding, you're right. Like I cannot get motivated to ride by myself. So I need a hard group ride. But lifting weights, I always work out alone. I hate work. Yeah. And I do that 3 times a week. So I hate doing that with other people.
Does anyone like really like lifting weights with other people? Because I've tried that before. And even though I would say for me, I need a workout class to actually go do workouts, like weight workouts. But that's an accountability thing.
Yeah, there's guys. I mean, I used to work out with Todd when I lived in Tampa, and guys that like working out together, it's because they can push themselves to go harder than they would. If he were here and we were working, he would push me to breaking point. Whereas today, like I lifted, I'm just like, that was good. Yeah. So I think that's, guys like to do that with other guys, but you don't see girls working out together that often.
No, it's hard.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, my friend Shelly, she's very similar to you. She's very disciplined, like probably one of the most disciplined people I've ever met. Yeah. And I'm always like super envious of that.
Also a lawyer.
Also a very successful lawyer. She's like the yin to my yang because she kind of keeps me on track. But it's... You
got to be disciplined to go to law school. It's a lot of self-discipline.
That's why I could never go to the law school.
I'm glad you didn't.
The law school.
Yeah.
Collective law schools.
Okay.
But yeah, this is more of a therapy session. So we've got lots of crafts going on if you want to come in and hang out. No,
if you want to put in a request for a scarf or embroidery, napkins.
Man, knitting is one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Wow.
Okay, so
my grandmother used to do it.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how hard it is because when I started drawing, and I really love drawing more than any art form, I did not find drawing nearly as hard as knitting. Like, to me, drawing comes very naturally.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
not like an expert by any means, but it comes naturally.
It's a skill you just
Knitting,
naturally have.
I'm like, I finally got it today.
Yeah.
But it took me like a few hours to like really like be able to at least knit like one row of stitches.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say I've gotten it, but I can at least knit more than one row of stitches.
I don't even understand how it works. I don't understand how it's one continuous thread on each side, but they're looping together somehow.
It is.
I don't get it.
It's literally like, I don't know. It's kind of a crazy trade. Like, it really is. Like, it's a crazy trade when you think about how, and now I'm looking like so close, but this is why I love new skills. It makes you pay attention to the world so close. Like, I'm looking at my sweater thinking, like, I'm sure this was obviously made by a machine, but if this had been made by hand.
Yeah.
Which there are really expensive. My point is I understand the price of handmade sweaters.
Yeah.
Because I can't even imagine, like, even if you're knitting as fast as possible, it is so hard.
Time. It's just time.
So much time.
Yeah. And expertise.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm still learning
Welcome to the Knitting Podcast.
a lot, but
So speaking of podcast, the Golden Globes now have awards for the best podcast in the world. Did you see who got nominated?
well, I did see who got nominated, but you told me it was pay for play, so is it really even a nomination?
Yeah, so apparently, and I learned this from our friends at How Long Gone, you have to pay to nominate yourself for these podcasts. So, like, for instance, the number one podcast in the world is Joe Rogan. Mm-hmm. He was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, why would he?
And so it's not really then the best podcast.
To me, it's a sign of podcasts that are maybe hurting. And this is their way to, like, bolster themselves.
I think they're not hurting. I mean, how long? Sorry, not Call Her Daddy.
I don't know. I feel like Call Her Daddy's going downhill.
I don't know about that. I think it's more of just they're looking to make more money. Like, they want more listeners. They want to be nominated, and they want more listeners, and they want to win.
Do you think it's the same with actors? Do they have to pay to nominate themselves?
I don't know. That's a good question. I bet that I bet studios pay.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's kind of depressing, though, because then you're like, oh, wow. So, like, these people aren't actually...
So the nominees are Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard.
Terrible.
I've tried to listen to that.
It's horrible.
I tried to listen to the one even with Brad Pitt, and I just couldn't do it. It's like not good. Call Her Daddy, which I think will probably win. I think she'll probably win this. She's
definitely better than Armchair whatever.
Good Hang with Amy Poehler, the comedian.
Yeah.
The Mel Robbins podcast.
Hers is good.
What's her thing? Is like just say no to like something like that. Like don't say no to people asking you for things.
It's the let them theory.
Oh, that's right. Let them.
Which again,
it's basically like don't care what other people think. Let them do whatever they're going to do.
I mean, it's a good theory. I think, you can't apply any theory across all situations.
But then people turn around, what if they're evil?
Well, yeah.
Let them be evil?
But see, that's like stupid though. Because like, come on, you know what she's saying. She's not saying like when she's saying people aren't going to change. Like if someone wants to go out and they want to do something, you trying to like get all riled up about them doing something and trying to change their mind isn't healthy for you. So just let them do what they're going to do.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that. But obviously there's caveats to everything.
So the other Smart List, Jason Bateman and his two buddies.
I think I don't remember.
Tried to listen to that.
You said you didn't like it.
Yeah. And then Up First from NPR. I don't know what that is.
It's like their daily.
Oh, it's like
their daily news thing.
So to me, Call Her Daddy's got to win.
Definitely from a entertainment perspective, it's the best out of all of those, probably.
Yeah, she's the best host.
Yeah, she has gotten worse as a host, I think, because she's with more eyes on you. She's like more buttoned up, and she's not as crazy as she used to be. The guests are getting more famous, and I'm sure that they make her sign a lot more things saying you're not going to ask really personal questions. Like, I'm not coming on if you're going to grill me about my previous relationship. So it's just not as entertaining anymore from that perspective. But she is a good journalist.
All right. Well, stay tuned on the Golden Globe Podcast Award. It's going to be interesting to see who wins and whether or not our predictions come true.
And whether or not anyone actually cares.
Or whether or not I already know the answer to that. No one cares.
No one cares.
What about marathon cheating? We discovered that there's a new service out there.
It's an Instagram account.
Yeah.
But apparently I I guess it makes sense. I
What was it again? What's it
I would
called?
never think to, I don't remember, but I would never think to do this. But apparently people, like influencers, are stopping their watch during a marathon. So a lot of times your watch, as we've talked about before, is not accurate during a marathon. And so you just got to run the marathon and get your chip time. And that's your official time. People are using their watch, and so they stop their watch like a mile before the finish line because their watch says 26.2, and so then they're getting this like really or much faster finishing time than the actual chip time. And so this Instagram account apparently is like calling people out. I don't know.
Official, unofficial marathon time. So official marathon time integrity unit. So what they're doing is they're publishing the actual times versus what people are saying that they're.
But are they like
uploading on
targeting
Strava.
specific people?
I think so. Let me see here.
Seems weird.
I mean, it's got to just be like famous people,
Yeah.
like
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles saying he ran like a 2:30 or something.
Well, no, but he did run a 2:30 because it was on.
So there's an anonymous tip form.
That's so
You
stupid.
can you can send in. I don't see where they're actually doing it. I don't know if it's just the. Oh yeah, they have case files on their account. So it's like case file subject, and it has their at Vitze event Auckland Marathon, the date, and then they have what they shared on. So this person shared on their Instagram a time of 3 hours and 2 minutes. The official time is 3 hours and 25 minutes. So
Wow, that's a big
discrepancy of 23 minutes. And then they have a conclusion and agent notes.
But what is the point of this? Is it like...
It's influencers, see? It's this guy.
Is that Jack guy?
No, it's the version.
Oh.
And it's him, putting on Instagram what his time is.
Okay. So I guess it's people that
people are annoyed by him.
Yeah.
They're reporting them.
Man, that's another level of pettiness.
This is crazy.
That's another level of pettiness. Like, if you have that much time to be that petty in your life, do you want to come work for me for free? Because I could give you so much to do.
Give a lot of research to do?
I could give you a lot of research to do. I could send you on errands. Like, if you have that much time on your hand to be that petty, I have so much for you.
Well, so this person, it's even better. This person I'm looking at, I kind of getting into this pettiness.
Oh, Lord.
This person posted that they did the marathon in 2 hours and 59 minutes. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Yeah.
They DNF'd.
Wait, how does that work?
They quit.
Oh, so they stopped their watch at 2 hours and 59 minutes and then walked off the course?
Yes.
Oh, that's weird. But still, I don't care.
And somehow got a medal.
Well, you just walk through the finish.
I'm looking at a picture and the guy has a medal. So
he could have just borrowed that
I
from
could
someone.
see. Oh, and then someone has official pictures of him walking in while people are running with like someone else. Oh, someone that's not even participating in it.
Well, it's like that girl that said she took shots the entire time during the Chicago Marathon,
Yeah, see,
and I was like, no way,
you
man.
were annoyed by that.
Well, I just think it's not true.
Yeah.
But I would never take the time to report her on an Instagram account. I don't care that much.
Yeah, here's another one, 30 minutes. Wow, they're all pretty big discrepancies. So it's people that are annoyed by running influencers saying they're doing something that they're not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty funny.
It's funny, but it's petty.
Speaking of that, we learned of the half marathon majors.
The Super-Halves.
Super-Halves.
So the Super-Halves, they've chosen different half marathons around the world to go to, and if you do all of them, you get like a special Super-Half medal. So instead of like, there's the thing with the major, if you run every major, you get a special medal
with the stars on it.
With the stars on it. So
Yeah.
this is for people that are like me, who are lazy and only want to run half marathons.
I don't think they're lazy. I think they want to actually compete.
I know, I'm just kidding.
What are the races again? Lisbon, Prague, Copenhagen, Berlin. I'm going off at the top of my head. Valencia and
Cardiff.
Damn, that's good memory right there. You impressed?
Yeah, really impressed.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We could try, and I'm sure we won't do any of them, but in
Why not?
in theory, it's good.
Would you want to do it?
I'd want to do one for my birthday, which is March 8th. Well, my birthday's March 7th, but the race in Lisbon is March 8th.
There's also for our audience, the squeaking is our puppy squeaking her Snoopy stuffed animal. So there's also a UTMB qualifier on your birthday in Mexico.
But that's probably
Puerto
at
Vallarta.
really high altitude.
No, it's at the coast, Puerto Vallarta.
Oh,
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's sold out already if it's my birthday, but. Okay, so quick rundown of all the running things we have left on our list. Kipchoge was offered $1 billion, not $1 million,
With a B.
$1 billion, as in Bob the Billions, from a Saudi oil guy to completely
Give up his citizenship.
Yeah, he was offered $1 billion to give up his citizenship as a Kenyan and move to Saudi Arabia, race, and he would get $500 million every year for the next 10 years on top of the $1 billion he was offered. But no one has gotten any response from him or his team.
He hasn't acknowledged it.
He hasn't acknowledged it.
So this is it. What is our prediction? What happens?
No.
I say no. He doesn't care.
I think that's a little bit like taking like blood money, like gang money, where you're just like attached to this really evil person.
If he was a soccer player, if it was Messi, or we know these guys, they'll definitely move to the Middle East for $1 billion. But I don't think Kipchoge cares.
I think he's such a national treasure for his country.
Yeah.
To give up citizenship and disown your country,
Rip out their hearts.
I mean,
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think he'll do that.
Anything else on the running agenda?
Just overwhelmed by all the gifting lists that everyone keeps putting out. I'm not buying anything for running the rest of the year.
Okay, good.
Because I'm revolting against the people making money off of their fake lists.
Off their list?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
I'm going to make a pair of running shoes.
You're going to make a pair of running shoes with your 3D printer and your...
I could 3D print a shoe.
You could 3D print a sole and then knit the top.
Exactly.
And then embroider a logo on it.
Exactly. I've got all the tools.
Okay. Coming at you soon.
Yeah.
Next week, we will have a guest, a very special episode coming at you next Tuesday, the 23rd.
Oh, is it the predictions?
It will be our annual predictions episode with a recurring special guest that you all know and love. And I'm sure he is. You and I need to get on our prediction research mode.
Yeah, I'm lagging behind.
I'm sure he has already got his content ready to rip.
If anyone has any predictions they want to send me.
Predictions for 2026.
Yeah, predictions.
Send them in.
It can be about anything. It doesn't have to be about sports. It can be about anything.
Yeah. I've got a few already. I've been thinking about coming at y'all from a different angle, but yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
All right.
Is your prediction that we're going to move to a different country? Or is that just wishful thinking on my part?
That might be what you call manifesting.
I like manifesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, whether you send in your manifestations or your predictions, we'd love to hear them, and stay tuned because we'll be sharing ours next week. And make sure that you like, subscribe, and share the SpeedStudio podcast. Nikki and Chad Strickland, your hosts. Sharing everything helps us get better guests, get more guests, and we really appreciate all of your support.
And sorry for the dog squeaking in the back, maybe a few little cute barks. I think this is gonna be the last time that happens. I think we gotta figure something else out, but we'll put a picture of her in the show notes so you can see how cute she is.
All right, happy holidays, everyone.